The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. Damian Nelson along with Linda Kay. Linda, where's David? We're here at Sun Life Stadium. We're going to be here all night long talking about WrestleMania, which is tomorrow night on pay-per-view, and he has disappeared. Be that as it may, we've got... What the heck? This is a closed set. What is...
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding? Careful. It's going to run you over. What is this? What are you doing?
Really?
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, David.
Give me a break. Where'd you get this?
Well, you never got me at the airport, so I called up Ricardo.
You were supposed to call me.
And Alberto, and they hooked me up with one of their cars.
Of course. Well, of course, shenanigans are in play this week here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. That's why we've got Mike, Wickett, and Sparky in the studio. So let's go now to Wickett and Sparky, and we'll be back with you throughout the night here at Sun Life Stadium talking about tomorrow night's WrestleMania.
That is my guy, Dave.
Your guy, Dave, why does he wear that stupid scarf? It's as bad as your suit jacket.
This is a velvet jacket. This works well. It's WrestleMania. They're in Miami. You got to have some flavor, Sparky. You know nothing about that.
I know all about flavor. Look at this nice polo shirt I'm wearing. Sports Radio 1250 flavor. Better than that damn scarf he was wearing.
Speaking of flavor, let's get right to it. Time for the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime on My 24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
And welcome into the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. Mike Wickett and Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here from Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, getting ready for WrestleMania 28 in Miami. Sparky, how excited are you for the big one coming up?
Not really at all. I mean, you're bringing back a bunch of old guys because the WWE couldn't come up with new storylines for some of their newer people. I mean, how excited can I possibly be? Randy Orton, now that's a guy that should be a headliner. That's a guy should be a main eventer. Not some movie star, The Rock, who's never ever in the WWE to begin with. You're old. Just retire and go away. And Shawn Michaels, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Really? He's probably as old as my father.
Well, before we get to your breakdown of WrestleMania, which is going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Let's get to last week's Monday Night Raw, and we start first, Sparky, with Randy Orton and Sheamus taking on Daniel Bryan with AJ, of course, and Kane.
What does AJ bring to this, exactly? I mean, if you really think about it, she's really not all that attractive to begin with. Second of all, you talk about Daniel Bryan. Who is Daniel Bryan? He might as well be me out there wrestling at this point. He's got no muscle definition whatsoever. He's some YouTube sensation that has no business with a microphone. I've heard people in 7th grade do better promos than he does with a microphone. It's just a joke. He shouldn't even be on TV. That's just a horrible job by WWE hiring another guy that doesn't deserve a microphone.
Daniel Bryan and Kane won, by the way. Let's move on. David Otunga with John Laurinaitis, Team Johnny, along with their official flag bearer, Vicky Guerrero, taking on Santino Marella and Teddy Long, Team Teddy, and their official flag bearer, a guy that I kind of liken more to you than Daniel Bryan, Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle, right, because this has worked so well in the past in WWE, bringing out small people. And they actually let this guy talk now. So that's an improvement. I'd rather watch him than Daniel Bryan, to be quite honest with you at this point. He's more entertaining than Daniel Bryan at this point. The John Laurinaitis character, it's nice. It's not a bad idea. I don't mind that as much. But at the end of the day, Vicky Guerrero, she's pretty much the main entertainer of everybody in that match.
You kind of remind me of John Laurinaitis.
That's fine. She does her job the best. She's that annoying, ugly chick that's meant to play the role very well, and she does it well.
I love how you praise Vicky Guerrero, but not AJ. Let's move on. There was a Divas match, Kelly defeating her former friend and now nemesis, Eve Torres.
Let's talk about the Divas in WWE, shall we? Because I really have an issue with the Divas, too, now that you bring it up, Mike. What happened to them being sexy? And what happened to sex sells? Now we're trying to act like these women can actually wrestle. As a former women's champ, like I am, they can't...
Excuse me. I, too, am a former GLCW women's champion. Thank you very much.
To review that?
Thank you very much.
Lost the belt. I was retired because of a tragic car accident that I was involved in.
Excuses.
You, on the other hand, couldn't finish. You would fit right into WWE, where they can't wrestle either as divas. So instead of trying to force something that's not there, go back to sex sells. Put them in some lingerie, trot them out there, and get the guys all excited, because you can't wrestle.
Also yesterday, or I should say last week on Monday Night Raw, CM Punk, with another interruption from Y2J, took out his frustration on Christian, who made his return to the ring.
Okay, where do we want to start with this? Okay. Y2J.
What don't you have a problem with when it comes to WWE?
Hey, nobody ever lets me on TV. So this is my one opportunity.
There's a reason.
There's a reason why I'm on the radio. Look at the big head. Let's talk about Y2J for a second. Now, that's a character that was there in the past and worked very well.
Right.
At some point, can we come up with something different for Y2J?
You know why he works?
We've been through Y2J. And the jacket, did you design the jacket that he wears?
Love it.
Did you
love
like
it.
the
Love the
lights?
jacket that he wears. Yeah,
Give me-
absolutely. Got to have flavor. It's WrestleMania. Yeah. It's Miami. Come on now. Also, let's see if we can handle talking about this match longer than it lasted. Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus, his match actually lasted 47 seconds on Monday night. He took care of somebody named Kurt Hawkins, who I'm guessing 99% of the people that watch have no idea who he is.
Brodus Clay is the reason why writers should be fired at the WWE. When you run out of storylines that bad that you got to trot him out, why not bring back the whole train and start that all up again?
Didn't last. It wasn't even 47 seconds of breakdown. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
The Big Show took on Primo. That thing lasted about 30 seconds as well. This was a joke.
The Big Show, I like the Big Show.
What's happened to him? He used to be a heavyweight contender. Now he's an intercontinental contender?
Yeah, well, that's because they have to bring back guys like The Rock, because they can't write storylines for their own wrestlers. So, again, when you start talking about the Big Show and what he does, Mike, I think they finally figured out how to use him. Because remember, back in the day when he was, coming up and trying this, he had the weight issues and everything else, and they couldn't get him on track. They finally now have started using him. He actually knows how to use a mic. He actually has a personality, and he can actually sell a match. How about that? Something rare in the WWE nowadays.
The views of Steve Sparky Pfeiffer are not necessarily those of the Pro Wrestling Report. And finally, Mark Henry and the Great Khali. This would have been a match of huge heavyweights, except it was over in less than 2 minutes as well. More Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
The Great Khali, I understand what his role is. Be the big, tall guy, giant guy. But he is.
You would know nothing about that.
No, not at all. But he is so limited athletically and so stiff and so robotic. It's just hard to watch him. Henry, you can sell Henry, world's strongest man, and he's pretty athletic for his size, so I get that. Then you have the mean streak. I like his character like I like the Big Show's character. The Big Khali, I just see him as a waste of time.
Your favorite part about Monday Night Raw each week is Michael Cole, isn't it? Because you remind me a little bit of Michael Cole. You hate everything. Your ideas are off the wall. You're very critical.
Well,
you're loud.
Right. It's certainly not Jerry the King Lawler, who took me out with a couple of pile drivers.
Your buddy.
He's certainly not my favorite. So I guess if I had to pick who I liked, it would not be Jerry the King Lawler.
That's our Monday Night Raw breakdown.
Shock therapy is still happening in my back.
That's our Monday Night Raw breakdown. Let's send it back down to Miami with Dave and Damian at Sun Life Stadium.
Thank you, Sparky. Thank you, Wickett. Where the hell did you get this Sparky from? He's just dropping pipe bombs all over the place.
He's a heater. My goodness.
He's a what?
He's a heater.
Oh. Anyways, this past Monday night's Raw, John Cena and The Rock finally made WrestleMania worth getting. They finally made it real in the middle of the ring on Raw.
Finally. It took a year, but John Cena and The Rock finally had the promo we've all been waiting for. You know it's going to be a fight. They meant it. There was no Fruity Pebbles. There was no rock concerts, no mama jokes, no nothing but pure animosity and hatred. And that's what's going to sell this pay-per-view.
It was so perfectly executed, and regardless of what Sparky says about The Rock being a movie star who shouldn't have come back, without The Rock, this WrestleMania would not be what it is going to be, and it is tomorrow night on pay-per-view. And you remember, you can watch it at Karma Bar and Grill for free, courtesy of the Pro Wrestling Report. But that is not the only match on the card, because there was also CM Punk and Chris Jericho, where Jericho now, after bringing Mama and Daddy into the mix, after bringing Sister and Daddy into the mix, brought Mama into the mix this past Monday night.
When was the last time we've had a pay-per-view, let alone WrestleMania, where there's been this much animosity between matches, between the guys involved in the matches? The Rock hates Cena, Cena hates The Rock, Punk hates Jericho, Jericho hates Punk. it just keeps going on. And these two matches that we've already talked about are going to be fights, not wrestling exhibitions or contests, but you're going to see true hatred coming out of all four guys.
Another match that's going to be a fight and was prevalent on Raw this past Monday night, Cody Rhodes and The Big Show. Cody Rhodes laying another verbal smackdown on The Big Show. Hey, you know what? Fine. If you don't want to give him credit, if you want to look at me stand there, roll your eyes. Cody Rhodes is a star, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. Everybody out there knows it, and the American people know it. Cody Rhodes is a star, and he proved it. Where are you going? Why are you moving out of shot?
Cody Rhodes has done a fantastic job, but there's one problem. He's going to fight a giant, a guy that has everything to prove at WrestleMania.
He'll be fine.
All it takes is one of these, right to the throat.
No, he's cunning. He'll avoid it.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Let's hope.
Overall, the go-home edition of Raw this past Monday night, solid episode, and it seemed as if WWE did everything they needed to do to set up the WrestleMania event coming up tomorrow night and make people push that button on their remote control and order the pay-per-view.
They did. The only thing that was missing was more Taker, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels.
They weren't even there. But there was an amazing video package.
But they don't need to be there. That match is already sold. The people are already tuned in for that. They did a great job of going forward with Team Teddy and Team Johnny by adding The Miz.
Of course he's on WrestleMania.
He's going to be the savior for that team, The Miz. Mark my words, The Miz.
I'll mark your words from this past Monday's radio show where all you did with your little friend King Kong Bundy was try to bury The Miz when he did nothing wrong.
Well, how dare The Miz make fun of a legend?
He didn't make fun of a legend. He brought factual statements to the table and just made them prevalent amongst the audience.
How rude.
Yes, you are. Speaking of rude, that's Sparky. I'm not sure if he can come back. We'll see what happens after this commercial break.
I just hope Paul Fix doesn't,
We are here in Florida, been here all week. Sun Life Stadium in the background here. It has been an amazing week. And WrestleMania is tomorrow night, as we said, and the fans from all over the world, the Shenanigans Beach Party last night.
That was ridiculous.
Redonkulous. And I think, Linda, I'm glad she was able to be here with us. I thought maybe she'd still be sleeping.
But they had to hook up an IV with Pedialyte into Linda.
Hey, that's the way you sober up.
And look at this. South Beach is tremendous. Still to come on the Pro Wrestling Report, we talk about the big main event between John Cena and The Rock. Up next on the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime.
Coming to Miami, it's the most anticipated event of the year, WrestleMania. And now, in an epic once-in-a-lifetime matchup, see The Rock battle John Cena. It's WrestleMania, live in Miami. Tickets available now.
And you can watch it free at Karma Bar and Grill with the Pro Wrestling Report team of Frank and Meathead.
Hey everybody, I'm Sunny, the original diva of the WWE and 2011 WWE Hall of Famer, and you're watching Pro Wrestling Report on My 24.
And welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time on My 24 in Milwaukee. Mike Wickett, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. That's right, don't adjust your set. We are two GLCW former women's champions. Coming up, it's WrestleMania 28. It'll be the Rock versus John Cena. A lot of other great things going on, but Sparky, it is time now to discuss Hell in a Cell, the end of an era, The Undertaker and Triple H.
The winner gets a thing of Geritol at the end of this match. And really, when you start talking about The Undertaker, would you consider him like the Brett Favre of wrestling? He just doesn't know when it's time to go away.
Well, wait.
Time to quit. Just go home. Go home.
The streak. Did Brett win 20 Super Bowls in a row? No. This is WrestleMania, the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, and The Undertaker is undefeated.
Brett Favre didn't get hurt in a game. You know what ended up happening? He got hurt, and the streak was over. And that's what will happen at WrestleMania for The Undertaker as well. He will end up going down in this. But again, look at the people involved in this match. We've talked about this before. The Undertaker, old. Triple H, I thought he was going to be like the pseudo-commissioner or somebody in charge. That didn't happen out. Laurinaitis takes over control. He loses that. Now he's in a wrestling match again. Go home and take care of your wife and family. And then you have Shawn Michaels, okay? Shawn Michaels.
The Heartbreak Kid.
This man gets lost in the woods for a living with a TV camera. That's what he does. Obviously, I'd get bored too, and I'd want to get back in front of actual live human beings. So all three of these people don't belong at WrestleMania. You had your time 10, 15, 20 years ago in some cases. Enough. We don't need to see any more. And I know WWE people what you're saying. Well, Sparky, they get loud ovations when they come out. Everybody gets loud ovations when they come out. That's part of the deal. Mike Wickett might even get an ovation if he walked out at a WWE event.
Well, especially wearing this jacket.
Right. It's just not original. It's the same old boring stuff from the WWE.
What is the main event at WrestleMania in your mind?
Well, it's going to be
I talked to Al Snow on our radio show on Sports Radio 1250, and Al said for the younger generation, the kids out there, that The Rock versus John Cena would be the main event coming up. Meanwhile, those of us that are a little bit older, that were there when The Undertaker came onto the scene at Survivor Series over 2 decades ago, Al Snow, one of the greats of all time, told me
was my tag team wrestler.
The main event of WrestleMania 28 in Miami at Sun Life Stadium is The Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. There's so many storylines. Undertaker ended Shawn Michaels' career. Shawn Michaels' best buddy is Triple H.
Nobody ended anybody's career. They're all back in the match together. Nobody's career ever ended. They're all here, Mike.
Shawn Michaels is putting on the jersey, the referee jersey. He's not going to participate other than being a special guest referee. And you have arguably one of the great matches ever last year where The Undertaker had to be carted out.
Can I just say something? I don't know what
you've never asked yet.
Right. What are you doing at TNA Wrestling? Because, see, what I thought was going to happen was when TNA Wrestling happened, the WWE storylines would get better because there would be competition in the market. That's normally what happens. Has it happened? No. We continue to go backwards and pull things back out to the forefront again for pay-per-views. Why? Because they have suckers like you. They're going to go out there and buy the pay-per-view because we want to see the same match we've seen time and time and time again. Congratulations. There's enough of them out there to do it.
Undertaker, Triple H. Who's going to win?
Taker.
I agree. The streak continues. That's our breakdown of Hell in a Cell.
But wait a second. Nah. Taker loses.
Taker loses?
Yeah. Taker loses. Brett Favre's streak ended, and so should the Taker's streak.
That's our report.
But I'll tell you this.
I can't get out of this.
I'll tell you this. They'll have a rematch next year at WrestleMania if he loses this, and they'll do it all over again. And we'll be sitting here all over again or watching the guys in the Pro Wrestling Report talk about this match all over again. Why? Because the story writers of the WWE, you're not very good.
That's Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. I'm Mike Wickett, in no way affiliated with Sparky at all. Back to the guys in Miami.
That Sparky's something else.
Wow. I mean,
see, that's why I can't travel. That's why I can't go anywhere, because I'm needed there. But anyways.
I appreciate what he does. He takes the heat off of us.
Well, I got no heat.
Of course you don't.
Hell in a Cell. The Undertaker versus Triple H. Shawn Michaels, a special guest referee. Yes, he does do an outdoor television show. We've talked about this match. We talked about it on Be the Book.
It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be a fantastic matchup.
A fantastic story. That emotion will be up and down. People are going to think Triple H is going to win. They're going to think Undertaker's going to win. It's going to go back and forth. It's going to be the story of stories. 3 great storytellers.
Will there be sweet chin music? Will it happen?
It's going to be teased. I hope it doesn't. I hope that when it's all said and done, there is no shenanigans. And it's just a clean pinfall victory for The Undertaker.
When does this match happen? Can you end the show with it?
No.
Doesn't seem that way, huh?
It'll be 3rd match from the top, and then you'll throw the Divas in between or something like that, or Cody Big Show in between, and then you're going to have the main event with Rock and Cena. Nobody wants to follow the Hell in the Cell, and nobody wants to follow Punk and Cena.
Sparky says Undertaker should retire. I disagree. However, I do feel that this will be his final WrestleMania matchup.
Undertaker is like Andre the Giant.
He will
now
have
a
wrestled 2
special
matches
attraction.
in 24 months' time.
He's a special attraction. Let him be just that.
And I'm fine with that. But why go to 21-0? You can leave it at 20-0 and say nobody else is going to come close. You can leave it at 20-0 and be fine. That's all I'm saying. You know what? Linda's on South Beach.
Of course she is. Why wouldn't she?
So let's throw down
This
to
late?
Linda Kay.
That's
Oh, well, this early on South Beach here in Miami, Florida.
Thank you, Damian and Dave. And look at this. South Beach is tremendous. And up next on the Pro Wrestling Report, we talk about the big main event between John Cena and The Rock. Up next on the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime.
And welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime on My 24 in Milwaukee. Mike Wickett and Steve Sparky Pfeiffer from Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Getting ready for WrestleMania 28. We'll send it back to the guys in Miami in just a second. And don't forget, for a free view of WrestleMania 28, make sure you stop on out to Karma Bar and Grill on Ogden in downtown Milwaukee. Afterwards, the post-show, the post-game show, the post-WrestleMania show at PWRshow.com. Sparky, we talked about the main event involving The Undertaker and Triple H, the Hell in the Cell, the one they've been building since last year's WrestleMania, John Cena versus The Rock, eras colliding, coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, they're going to steal a lot of money with this one. Look, at the end of the day, you have the Rock versus Cena. Is it a big match? Yes, it's a big match. Everybody wants to see this match and see what's going to happen. And if you watch Raw, you could tell that these two guys obviously don't like each other. And I'm good with that, right? Totally fine with that. But at the end of the day, if The Rock wins this match, it's an absolute travesty for this federation. I hope they understand this. Because you can't have the face of your federation losing to a guy who's been out of the business for how long, taping movies. He comes back and beats your face, beats your best guy. That would be horrible.
Do you think this
would be horrible?
Do you think this might lead to more appearances by Rock on Raw, SmackDown, and future pay-per-views?
Well, he can't be possibly broke. So, I mean, from that aspect, he can't need the money. I mean, a lot of professional athletes make millions of dollars and they lose it all. I don't think Rock is one of those guys. I think Rock is financially fine. So why he's back involved in this, I'm assuming the payday was pretty lucrative, so he said, sure, why not, one more time. So he comes back and does it again. I don't think there's any way Cena loses this match.
Have you enjoyed the build-up over the past, maybe not year, but maybe over the past 2 months, with The Rock appearing on Raw more frequently, the song and dance they were doing a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw with the Thugonomics and then the Rock concert at the end?
You know, I don't know what the WWE envisioned when they put this storyline together. But I will say this, I don't like, and maybe you like it, I don't like my star of my program previous to The Rock coming back. I don't like my star of my program having the audience confused. I don't like having an audience that some don't know whether they should cheer or whether they should boo Cena. Now, they all love The Rock for the most part, but they're confused on Cena because I think everybody realizes, like I do, once this is over, we're going to go back to rooting for Cena again. I think Cena has done a marvelous job doing his thing. How the anger is just gradually built over time, and you've started to see that come out.
Is he embracing the hate from the previous pay-per-view and the previous storyline along with Kane?
Yeah, he's probably embracing the hate about The Rock, I would say, at this point. Yeah, I agree with that.
Got to rise above.
Right, and The Rock needs better writers, because some of his stuff is just cheesy as all get out. I mean, it's bad. He makes fun of Cena. But seriously, you're doing stuff he did 10, 15 years ago. Figure it out. But again, I'm more impressed with Cena than I have been with The Rock this whole time.
Real quick, if he beats John Cena at WrestleMania, does he go down in the history of wrestling with the Ultimate Warrior or Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair as the greats of all time? Because he will have then defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and this generation's superstar in John Cena.
Yeah, I think he's there already. I don't think he has to necessarily beat Cena to get there. But what I don't like about it is the reason he's gotten to where he's got is because of his mic skills, more so than anything.
Nobody promos like The Rock.
That's why he's gotten to this point. And this is the new generation of WWE the last 20 years. You all have to have mic skills. Unless you have a lisp, they'll still give you a microphone, which you have no business having one, Jack Swagger. But besides the point of that, you have to focus on The Rock. Yeah, is he going to WWE Hall of Fame? Sure, he's going, no question. Does this make or break The Rock's legacy? Not at all.
Who wins, Cena or Rock?
Cena better win if they know what they're doing, and like I've said the whole show, they don't, so The Rock probably will.
Back to you guys in Miami. It's been a lot of fun here in Milwaukee at the studios of My24.
I cleaned things up with Mike Wickett. I said, you know what, you're a good radio professional. I know you've got it in you. Gave him some coaching.
He's got the jacket,
gave him some tips. Told him how to be a professional host. Did you give any coaching to Sparky?
Of course. I said, be yourself, be true.
Anyways, John Cena and The Rock. It's the main event at that very building behind us. It's going to occur in less than 24 hours at WrestleMania. It is the match. It is the match that we never thought we would see. It's the match that's been being built for the last 12 months. I think there's an obvious winner, and that obvious winner is The Rock. However, as Sparky was talking about, what damage might that do to John Cena?
But it could set John Cena back, especially if Rock leaves right away after WrestleMania until SummerSlam or whatnot. It's a coin flip for me still. I don't know what's going to go forward. I'm not too sure how it's going to play out. The Rock in his hometown of Miami, I can't imagine him doing the job laying down for John Cena. But then again, does the number one babyface in the company, the face of the company, put over The Rock, and then he goes backwards going forward to his next feud next month?
So much could happen in that match, and that's what makes it great. And I would venture to say that this card overall, and I've said it before, is one of the strongest WrestleMania cards in recent history because there are a lot of those matchups, including what Kevin Nash talked to us about on the radio show Monday night. There are a lot of those matchups that you just don't know what's going to happen with. And that's what you want as a wrestling fan.
We can't even pick a clear-cut winner.
Such as?
Well, Punk and Jericho, Hell in a Cell, and Rock and Cena. All three of those are really a coin flip. I mean, Undertaker.
It's not obvious in Sheamus Bryan
seems
either.
to be the lock.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely.
That's what makes WrestleMania great. That's what's going to make tomorrow's WrestleMania great. I want to thank Mike Wickett and Sparky for filling in for us in the studio. I want to thank all of you who showed up at the Shenanigans Beach Party last night and to our special taping earlier today on South Beach, which you'll see that at WrestleZone.com and simulcast.pwrshow.com tomorrow before WrestleMania. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in again. And remember, those of you in Milwaukee, watching us obviously here on My24 Milwaukee, Karma Bar and Grill tomorrow night. Join Meathead and the Kaz to watch WrestleMania at no charge, free of charge, courtesy of Karma and the Pro Wrestling Report.
I hear Meathead is pregnant.
Science has come a long way.
The laws in Wisconsin are very loose.
We've got to go join Linda Kay on South Beach. She looked like she was having a little too much fun last time.
Linda Kay.
So I guess, can we take the Mercedes?
Well, yeah, as long as we bring it back in one piece. Alberto was
For that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in to this very special WrestleMania edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time.
Coming to Miami, it's the most anticipated event of the year, WrestleMania. And now, in an epic once-in-a-lifetime matchup, see The Rock battle John Cena. It's WrestleMania, live in Miami. Tickets available now.
And you can watch it free at Karma Bar and Grill with the Pro Wrestling Report team of Frank and Meathead.